on. So we got to talk about Dogecoin. We're going to talk about some price action that's about to happen here. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Let's hop straight into it. So as you can see right now, Dogecoin is up 4.7% in the last 24 hours. That's actually pretty decent. Last year, up 40%. In my previous video about baby does, I was actually talking about how a lot of these cryptos are not outperforming Bitcoin. Bitcoin is outperforming everything. But Dogecoin is one of the few cryptos that is right behind Bitcoin. So in the last year, Bitcoin is up 65.7%, whereas Dogecoin in the last year is up 40.3%. So that is a huge difference. Not a huge difference, but it's a huge difference compared to a lot of these other projects. Because if you come over here and you look at something like Ethereum, you'll notice Ethereum isn't doing the same type of numbers that Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin is, Bitcoin has been making it's been turning a lot of heads, all right? It's been turning a lot of heads, but Ethereum is down 38.2% in the last year. So we've actually seen a lot of different projects inside of that weird space that's kind of, it's like, all right, what's going on here? Because, everything is like showing low numbers. In the last year, Solana is only up 12%, but Dogecoin is one of the few that's up nicely in the last year, 40.3%, doing really, really good numbers. Honestly, I really like the projection that we're seeing here with Dogecoin. This is one of the charts that someone was talking about. We'll talk about that. All right, so enough of the comparisons here. Let's get into the meat of this, because this is what people really want to see. So this person posted this, right? Bitcoin Census posted this. This is a logarithmic uptrend. All right. I may not have said that right, but it's one of those type of uptrends, right? That's what it is. That's what it is. Look, we touched the bottom of this chart 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Boom. That's what we did. We touched the top 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's pretty much what's going on with this, right? So they're showing that we're about to have a possible 740% increase up to $1.10. So that's pretty much right up here at the top. They're predicting around $1.10. I would say closer to this Fibonacci, maybe a little bit above it, and then getting a rejection there at like $1.20. So that would be my prediction, like $1.20 around here, right at that Fibonacci, and then that pullback bringing us back down to like 23 cents. That is what I would predict for Dogecoin. So yeah, if Dogecoin has a huge breakout, that's what would probably happen. But if the whole overall market starts crashing again and we see Dogecoin break out of this trend, that would be very bad, because Dogecoin did a lot to stay in this trend. Like, if you think about it, since 2023, Dogecoin has been fighting hard to stay within the trend. So since April of 2023, it's been staying in the same trend. It has not been going under it. If it did, it was only very briefly, like very, very briefly, and then it kept inside of it. So if we do have some crashes, we have to stay out of it very briefly and then immediately back in if we are to break out of this pattern. So again, the logarithmic, yeah, this uptrend, that's what I'm gonna call it. It's called the uptrend, the Laga uptrend. That's what we're calling it, right? But yeah, that's what we're seeing here. So logarithmic uptrend. All right. So Doge, huge price projection target. This is what they're saying, 740%, all that, blah 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 blah. Now, that's what we got for that. And then this is another legendary trend line that they're talking about, which is also true, because if you expand this view and you take the bottom of that log trend, right? I'm gonna call it the log. We'll call it the log. If you look at that, then you can see that it's actually been within that trend line for an extremely long time. So let's go ahead and click that and just kind of zoom in on it and see how far into this trend we are. So if you look at it, we've been in this trend for longer than people think. We've been in this trend all the way back here from 2021. We've been on that same trend line. That is actually crazy. The same trend line since 2021, we have respected it. So that is crazy. This is not a gimmick. This is real. So, I mean, look at that. We've stayed on that trend line 1 time, hit it 2 times. Like, look, we hit it once here, boom. Hit it twice, hit it that second time here. And then we hit it once, boom, bounced off, hit it again, boom, bounced off, hit it again, boom, bounced off, hit it again, hitting it back to back. That's what we're pretty much doing it. So yeah, this is pretty crazy. And yeah, Dogecoin has been inside of that trend for a very, very, very long time. So if you are one of those people that don't think that Doge is gonna eventually pump again, then you're very much mistaken. Doge is definitely going to make its way up to the top. And according to the charts, it could be anywhere from October to November. So anywhere from October to November, we should be seeing Dogecoin at like $1.20, which is actually crazy. $1.10 to $1.20. I'm saying $1.20. I'm a mark it right here. So yeah, this is my official statement of $1.20 Dogecoin. So yeah, that's what I think is gonna happen here. So I'll keep you all updated with that. As for the short term here with Dogecoin, I do believe that we have some short term price action that might be worth noting. And that is if we can stay inside of this current uptrend, we can eventually get up to 21 cents. But that's really purely based off of Bitcoin and whether or not Bitcoin is going to continue to rise at this point, unless Dogecoin can break away from it for a little bit, right? And that is like if Elon Musk makes some stupid weird tweet. So, anyways, we do got news for Dogecoin. So yeah, this is the Dogecoin news. So let me close that. So this says breaking: 21 shares files for a Doge ETF with Nasdaq. So text of the proposed rule change. This is the filing right here. The Nasdaq Stock Market LLC, Nasdaq or exchange, pursuant to Section 19B1 of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934 Act and Rule 19B4 thereunder, is filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) or Commission a proposal to list and trade shares of 21 shares Doge ETF. So yeah, that's the official listing right here. The trust, well, the official filing for the listing. And it says under NASDAQ Rule 5711D, commodity-based trust shares, the shares of the trust are referred to herein as the shares. A notice of the proposed rule change for publication in Federal Register is attached, blah, 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 blah. All right. This is actually pretty good. Hopefully they get approved for this. Hopefully. But the SEC did just now put ETF approvals on hold for Dogecoin. So the SEC said that it will wait until June to decide next steps for the Bitwise Dogecoin ETF and Franklin Templeton's something XRP. All right. So the SEC said it would wait until June to decide next steps for those ETFs. Asset managers have filed dozens of applications for altcoin ETFs following the successful launch of Bitcoin ETFs. So Dogecoin is going to be next up, and it's one of the top altcoins. You got to admit it. Ethereum's already having this little run with ETFs and all that. So we're seeing the Doge ETFs becoming a thing as well. So this is actually pretty good. I want to see this happen. This will put more day-to-day investors into Dogecoin. Like people with 401ks might hop into Dogecoin, right? Like people who at Social Security, like you could get like an 80-year-old, like your grandma or something's gonna start hopping in on Dogecoin. All right, like an 80-year-old is gonna be having Dogecoin, not even know they have it, but just because they have a 401k that someone invests for them. So they won't even know that they have it, but they got Dogecoin, right? They'll be telling you that dog coin won't do nothing, but she'll probably have that Dogecoin inside of her portfolio without knowing it. So that's going to be how it's going to be, all right? Anyways, moving on from that, we got over here 100 million Doge just acquired by whales, Dogecoin to the moon. So meme coin king Dogecoin skyrockets by 100 million Doge, and bullish whale activity. Is the bull rally imminent, or is this a bull trap? That is the question of the day. So in the past week, large holders of Dogecoin have finally made a move, and it is a big one. Thus, wallets holding between 1 million and 10 million Doge added more than 100 million Doge altogether to their balance. This activity happened quietly, but the numbers speak for themselves. According to on-chain data from Sentiment, the total holdings of this category of investors increased from around 10.42 billion Doge to over 10.55 billion Doge by April 30th. So that is a net increase of over 100 million Doge in less than 2 weeks. At current prices, it means nearly $17.5 million were accumulated without major news or social media hype. So that's just people buying, and that says something. That says a lot. And you can see it inside of the change of the price of Doge. You can see it up 4.4% in the last 24 hours. If you look at the market cap in the last 24 hours, going from 25.7 billion all the way up here to 27.2 billion, but then dropping back down to 26.9 billion. So that is a significant increase. That's over $1 billion in the last 24 hours added to Dogecoin. And you can see that's a pretty steep jump right there. So yeah, that's pretty good. And hopefully we can hold it and maintain it, and hopefully we can keep rising, because that's a good little jump. In the last month, only up 4%, but who's counting? Because we really came from all the way down here on April 7th. That was 19.7 billion, all the way up to where we are now, 26.9. Like, we're doing huge numbers. So yeah, this is pretty much all I got for you all today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'll keep you all updated on Dogecoin. I just figured I would make this update. I really want to do daily Doge videos because I remember when I was doing that, everyone loved it. I loved it. Dogecoin is still the number one meme coin, no matter what anyone says. It's still number one. Even though I made a lot of Baby Doge videos, Dogecoin is still above Baby Doge. Let's be honest. Dogecoin 40.3% in the last year. Baby Doge down 40% in the last year. You can't really compare the two because of that. But yeah, anyways, hit the like button and subscribe. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Definitely check out the link in the description for my link tree if you want to go ahead and look at all my links there. Connect with me. Hit me up on Instagram or something. If you need help with something, definitely send me a Cash App if you're going to do that. So then I know you're serious, because I don't got a lot of time to keep helping people for free. So, send me a little Cash App. Come on. But anyways, that's all I got for you all today. As always, I'll be back with another video.